Renovating a 5-inch gauge sweet pea steam locomotive. Part 26. Making a handle for the boiler water feed hand pump and using a knurling tool to allow the handle to be gripped for easy removal from the pump. The handle on this pump is a bit strange. The end bit of it is just over 1/4 inch. Why is this? I don't know. But luckily the main part of the handle is a standard imperial size. I found a suitable piece of phosphor bronze from which to make the handle, and here I'm figuring out how long the handle needs to be and marking the position with a felt tip pen. And now over to my trusty Myford lathe for a bit of machining. The first thing to do, as always, is to face across the front of the work. And normally I would continue doing this until there was a perfectly flat surface. But hey ho, it's only a pump handle. It's not a part for a steam turbine, a jet engine or a space rocket. As you can see, the drill is wobbling about a bit, which means the hole will not be in the centre, and this is a good thing. I will explain later on why it's a good thing. I'm drilling this hole 25/64 of an inch in diameter, which is 1 imperial drill size up from 1/4 inch. The next thing to do is drill the larger diameter, using a larger twist drill to match the size of the main pump handle diameter. This phosphor bronze is quite hard to machine. Maybe it's not phosphor bronze. I found it in my box of random phosphor bronze-like pieces of metal. I've just shown one instance of how the drill kept grabbing in the work. Once again, I'm using the 25/64 of an inch diameter drill to drill the centre part a bit deeper, so that this assembly fits over the shape of the pump handle. And now it's time to part off the handle from the main bar stock. I use this very thin parting tool quite a lot, and yes, it's stuck out a long way from the holder, but to have it this way to make it easier to video the process. You can hear how tenacious this metal is. It keeps grabbing the parting tool. But anyway, without event, I ended up with a pump handle the right length. The job continues by slackening off the chuck jaws and pulling the work partially out of the chuck, because I'm going to work on the end of it like this. What I'm doing is just rounding the end, doing it completely by eye and making a bit of a mess of it really, but I got there in the end. The final finish of the rounded end was obtained by taking the part out of the chuck and very carefully, using my 1-inch belt sander, I perfectly rounded the end. The finishing was done with wet to dry sandpaper to start with. As usual, this is 400 grade. I use 400 grit because it gives a nice machine finish that is not too shiny. I don't need to polish this handle, it's a very utilitarian piece of equipment. The finish on the pump handle after the treatment with the 400 grade wet to dry sandpaper is fine, but I make it even better by using some Scotch-Brite. Here's the job so far. I have a pump handle where the holes are not perfectly in the centre, and this is an advantage. I press the pump handle onto the pump shaft and rotate it slightly, and it starts to lock, which holds the handle firmly in place. In this clip I'm using some more Scotch-Brite, which is of a finer grade. The only problem now is actually getting the pump handle off the shaft. All I need to do is twist it, but it's got a very fine surface, so I need to do something about that. I'm going to use one of these. This is called a knurling tool, and it puts a pattern on the metal, which makes it easier to grip. We've all seen knurled items in everyday life, they're very common. This type of knurling tool can be adjusted with this hand wheel, which as you can see is also knurled. The purpose of this hand wheel is to allow the knurling of different diameters. This is the way I normally use knurling tools. I don't put the knurls immediately above and below each other. I put them just to the side, then I can use the top slide to apply more pressure to the work. I find for larger diameters that the small hand wheel doesn't give me enough pressure to get a nice deep knurl. Depending on the size of your lathe, you can't go mad with this. This Myford is quite a small lathe, so I treat it with respect and I'm not applying too much sideways pressure. By the way, this is not the handle, it's the piece of bar from which I parted off the finished handle. I thought I would do a test on this first, but now I'm doing it for real. So the idea is you apply some pressure and the knurls start to cut the pattern. And when you engage the longitudinal traverse, you can make the knurl as long as you want. I need it to be just long enough to get my finger and thumb around so I can release it from the pump handle. I turned away a bit of the knurl right at the end so it wasn't sharp, and to make doubly sure of this, I used a small file as well. At this stage I have a word of caution. Do not, I repeat, do not knurl the other end of the handle. The last thing you want on a hand pump handle is a knurled end. It will make your fingers very sore, because to fill the boiler using this hand pump needs quite a lot of pump strokes. But it's perfect for this job. Now I can very easily twist it onto the pump handle and off again. And this is because the holes are not exactly in the centre, and that's why I did it that way right at the beginning, using an existing hole in the piece of metal, which was not going to be in the middle when it was in the 3-jaw chuck. The job is a success, and that's it for this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.